Why do you think so small? Why are you settling for an average basic life? Why are you letting society's basic average expectations on your life and just accepting it, right? Distractions, entertainment, vices, not respecting yourself, not respecting your body, not working out. Why are you allowing that to be okay for yourself? That's the real question. If you stop being so comfortable with this little tiny life that you've always had and actually step into it and be like, I'm worth 10x this, man. I'm worth 10x this. My family deserves 10x this. I know that there's a lot of people in this community. We could be doing $1 million months, take home profit in the bank, no problem. So while the last 90 days has been beautiful and it's been a huge milestone and a big breakthrough, and I'm really proud and excited about it, man, it just got me hungrier to know that there's not enough of us winning at this level yet. What's going on? It's so good to be live with you guys for another GPM Live with yours truly, Balazs W Kardos. It's been a minute since we have had a conversation, and I don't even know how that happened. It wasn't my intention, but this call, I hope, inspires you beyond anything that you've ever been inspired by inside of the AIC community, the Global Prosperity Movement community. And I want to share with you guys something that just blew my mind, and I'm sure it's going to blow your mind as well. But before we get there, I just want you guys to have an opportunity to share with us a win that you're celebrating, that you're excited about. Typically we would ask you what's a win that you've had recently, but in this call, I want you to really share like your biggest win for 2023. The year is coming up to an end in about a month and a bit. So I want to hear all the exciting things that have happened for you in 2023. Go ahead and pop it in the chat right now. And then I will dive into that in a little bit here. But, I made a post in the group yesterday, and it was talking about, is $1 million in 90 days of passive income possible here in AIC? And that's what we're going to be diving into on this call and giving some very tangible, realistic expectations of how that is actually possible, not just for myself, but also for those of you in this community that are truly all in with this opportunity. I think that to create massive success, to create massive results and massive income, etc., you can't be even 1% out of this opportunity, right? And a lot of people, they take this offer, this product, this company, and they don't go all in. They like it. It's something they believe in. It's cool. They do a little bit of it on the side. They got a full-time job. They got other responsibilities, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's a need for that as well. But for those of you that are truly all in, this is a glimpse into what's possible for yourself in the foreseeable future. But I want to give a lot of context of what it actually means, because it's much more than just a rank. It's much more than just a certain amount of time that passes and then, oh, you've been here for 10 years, 10 and a half years, and now this is the results that you can have. There's a lot of nuance that I want to talk about today to give you a lot of real perspective on how you can create this as well, okay? With that being said, I know there's a lot of new faces, there's a lot of new people, and I want to take a moment just to congratulate you, to welcome you that you're here with us in the Global Prosperity Movement. This Facebook group is an umbrella of lots of different sub-communities with different brands, different training platforms, different leaders, and all the rest of it. And so this is a safe space for all of us to come together, to celebrate each other, to be recognized for accomplishments. You will see people, especially towards the end of each month, coming up here this week. You will see a lot of congratulation posts for people rank advancing, 4A, 5A, 6A, 6A2-2-3, all the rest of that, for people's hard work, dedication, and commitment to this business for long periods of time. And it's really, really beautiful for you and I and all of us to acknowledge and celebrate these people as being an inspiring example of what you and I are able to create here. So when you see people being celebrated, you see shout outs, you see people rank advancing, always remember that whatever you see within those individuals exists within you, right? It's a glimpse into your potential. So when you see someone crushing it or having a 100K month or whatever it might be, that exists within you too, but you need to tap into that. You need to really harness that potential and do whatever you can to extract that from yourself. So if you're brand new here, some of the numbers we're going to be talking about are going to be overwhelming. It's going to shut your brain completely down as something that you're going to assume isn't possible for you. It's unlikely for you. You know, there might even be some negative emotions that come up, some jealousy, some envy, some resentment, some blame, being a victim, having this automatic response of like, yeah, but I have all these children, but, I have all this debt, blah, 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 all the things. And you need to really, really be careful to not let that sabotage what is possible for yourself. And a lot of the times we resort to making some type of assumption around another person that we don't actually know. We don't know their story. We don't know their work ethic. We don't know all the obstacles that they've had to endure. And we put these labels on them or these assumptions on them that they must be cheating. They must be doing it the wrong way. They must be taking advantage of people. They must be this, because we simply don't understand how those results are possible, doing it with honesty, doing it with integrity, doing it with consistency, doing it with a good, pure, honest heart. And while there are some people out there that may not be above the board and may be doing things in the gray area or may be hurting, whatever, the majority are doing it the right way. And so be very, very mindful of not assuming the worst in others, but seeing the best in them. And if you don't understand, reach out, get to know these individuals, understand their stories, and use that as an opportunity for you to learn. Because at this point, guys, after all this time that I've been building this business, not just in my own team, but the wider Enagic community that's been around for almost 50 years, there's undeniable proof and evidence that anybody from any walk of life with any sort of backstory, limitations, challenges, adversities, tragedies, really, really hard, difficult things that people have grown through, that they've been through, have gone on to turn their lives around, turn their mess into their message, turn their, really, really shitty circumstances into the most inspiring stories out there. And I'm one of those individuals as well. As you may have seen, we were featured on the front cover of Enagic's magazine, the eFriends newsletter, in November, and it shared a little bit about my story in there as well, for those of you that don't know it or you haven't seen much stuff over the years as well, so you can check that out. But that is what I want you when you go to bed at night, right? And you're thinking about, can I do this? Is this possible for me? Do I have what it takes? I want you to just remind yourself every single day that this isn't a startup anymore. This isn't a concept that we're trying to prove. There is no debate here. There is no debate around the science. There's no debate around the technology. There's no debate around the 8-point compensation plan. There's no debate around whether or not Enagic is real, is legit, is authentic, is the best in the business, best in the industry. None of this is up for debate. So if you have an opinion about it or you don't believe in it, that's on you. That's 100% on you, because the rest of us that understand that this isn't up for debate, we already know the truth, all right? And so sometimes what we need to do is remember, we got to get out of our own way, man. Some of our own limitations are being projected onto the community. They're being projected onto the industry. Some of us still have some twisted beliefs around network marketing, direct sales, making commissions, getting these massive bonus checks and feeling some type of way about that. That's on you. That's your own personal development. That's your own work that you got to figure out. We will help you, right? We're here to help you. We're here to support you. We're here to give you the keys, but you got to take those keys and do something with it. You got to put it in the vehicle. You got to drive it. You got to show up long enough to see the magic actually unfold in your life. All right? So basically, the what I just shared, I get so fired up from these calls, man. It's like 10 minutes in and I'm ready to fucking just blast through this wall right here, right through the camera. I love this stuff so much, but the point is that to get the results that I've been able to create, and what we're going to be talking about here today, is I've been this pinnacle of belief, this pinnacle of certainty, leadership, vision, speaking things into existence, saying that we're here right now, but we're going to be here. And then we went and did that repeatedly, time and time and time and time again. If you read the eFriends of this past month, I said that when I hit 6A2-3 in 2016, I wanted to have 1,000 plus 6As in my organization. And at the time, I think we had like a couple hundred, or I don't even remember. It was a pretty big jump. And now we have like almost 1,400, okay, in 7 years later. But now the vision has been stretched. 6A is amazing, and it's something that everybody should be proud of achieving or achieving soon. But the real goal here, guys, is the legacy ranks. It's the 6A2-3 and above. That's the real goal. That's the real target. That's where things really start to change for yourself, for your family, for your future, for what's possible, for what you can afford to do on a personal level, but also afford in a way of investing, growing your assets, and truly creating generational wealth. That begins at 6A2-3. So I know that there's going to be so many individuals in GPM that are going to be 6A2-3 and above, that I've set the bar to hit 1,000 in the next decade or less, which I'm calling the diamond decade. And so many of you are close. Like if I pull up my my report here, I'll quickly pull it up just so I don't make up numbers that are a little bit off. I want to just give you an example of how I see things, okay? And then we're going to talk about some other things as well. But I want to really teach you the skill set of forecasting. In traditional businesses, businesses forecast their revenue. They forecast on where they're going to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, because they simply look at the math, they look at the data, and they're able to forecast things out. So when I look at my back office with the Nagic, I can see what's about to happen because I've been doing it for 10 years and I've seen what's happened in the past, and I see what that means and what's going to happen next. So I want you to just take this for a second, okay? We have officially, right at this moment, we have 1,343 6As. That's what it says in here in the back. But this is the part that's exciting. We have 331 people at 6A2. We have what was the numbers here? Hold on. I got to pull up my other trusty spreadsheet that my brother made me because it's more accurate here. 1 second. So at -2, we have 117 individuals. At 6A2, we have 361. At 6A, we have 1,343. Those are all people that are on track to being a -3. You understand? So it's like when we actually look at the math there, to hit 1,000 is very, very likely. It just depends on the individual person from quitting, giving up, getting distracted, not following through on some of the things that they said they're going to do. So it's on its way. It's coming. The next wave, the next generation is coming, and I'm just so excited about that. But what I want to do is I want to rewind the clock, okay? Because when we talk about some of the things that have been happening in my life on a personal level in the business, being number one in this new contest that came out, all of this is based on a lot of things that I've did in the past, okay? So it looks really cool, and trust me, it's amazing to be in this position, and I'm super grateful. And none of it would be possible without you and everyone else in the community. It's a collective group effort. But back in the day, there was a period of time where no one saw this vision, okay? Nobody understood how it was possible to make a real successful direct sales business in something like a Nagic. All the top people in network marketing, when I went to GoPro, which is a big, event every year that Eric Worre puts on. I went to GoPro for the very first six-figure summit that there ever was in GoPro history. And there was over 500 individuals in the room who were six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, eight-figure earners, in all these different companies, right? And I had this big gallon jug of Kangen water with me. And you know what was really crazy about this? I was so honored and so grateful to be in the room, right? I felt like literally the smallest fish in the pond in this room of 500 people. I like just made it in there. You know what I mean? So I was like, yes. And I had this water and I'm walking around all proud with my jug. And all these people and these top earners that I followed on social media, I was learning from them on YouTube and trying to soak up the knowledge and the wisdom because I was a rookie, right? I'm just trying to learn. They came up to me and they saw my water ball and they're like, hey, is that the company that you're with? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, we love the water. We have one of those machines in our kitchen, but we could never do the business because the business doesn't have residual income, doesn't have reoccurring income. You know, it's too expensive. People don't spend this type of money on water, blah, 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 blah. So all of their limitations and perceptions on the water, they were telling me while they owned the very product, they didn't really truly believe in the business. And I'm listening going, okay, all right, cool. Thanks for sharing your opinion. Next person. Oh yeah, top earner in this company, they have a machine. Top earner in this company, they have a machine. Top earner in this company, they have a machine. I'm like, isn't that interesting? Because if we were to analyze the people in the room who all had one product in their life, even though they weren't building the business, it was Enagic. It wasn't the fucking shakes or the coffees or the vitamins or the teas or the essential oils or any of that other stuff. It was the water. Why? Because we're mostly made of water, right? So it's like the two things that people need the most is clean, healthy, antioxidant-rich water to keep their bodies optimal, and money and time freedom. We have the play, right? We have the play. The only thing maybe that would be better than this is oxygen, which would be very weird to sell. Even though in some parts of the world, they do sell oxygen in a can, but that would be like a weird business. Man, we got the thing. And I saw this a long, long time ago. So all of those arrows that I took, all of the negativity, all of the doubt, all of the disbelief that would throw most people off, that would make most people quit and go, maybe they're right. Maybe I should go join the potion, lotion, low ticket thing because they're right. These guys are 7-figure earners. I'm a 6-figure earner. So maybe they know something that I don't know, but I didn't do that. I didn't waver. I didn't give up. I didn't quit. I was like, no. They just don't see it yet. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. The world is going to wake up to this. It's just a matter of time. And so some of the stuff that you guys are seeing right now with me being number one in the contest or being, featured on the front of the magazine and stuff, this is a reward that I'm experiencing for what happened 10 years ago when I didn't waver and give up. Does that make sense for everybody? So you get compensated for your belief. You get compensated for your loyalty. You get compensated for never wavering, going, no, I know in my heart and soul, this is the truth, man. This is the truth, and it will eventually be undeniable. The day will come. And my friends, the day is coming now, and it's starting to come more and more and more, and it's still just the beginning. The diamond decade is just starting. So you guys are not too late. You didn't have to do this when I did it 10 years ago to be in my position. I'm just the first example of this. You know what I mean? I am the first generation example of this. That means the second generation's already coming right behind me. The third generation's right behind them. The fourth generation. This is literally undeniably happening right now. And you just have to ask yourself if you're next. Because I'm positive, like I already see it, we are next, right? And for a long time there, before we had the certain ranks and stuff like that, I felt it like we were number one. I felt it like, but nobody said it. Now it's right there, right? Now it's like, it's on the Enagic's website right there. We have this handicap in the contest. It's right there. So I'm just really grateful and excited around how things have unfolded. And I want to use this as an opportunity for all of you that are here in this community as well, whether you're brand new, just got your machine, just got set up recently, or you've been in here for a couple of years or something like that. It doesn't really matter where you are. I want you to really get it of how things happen in this type of business model. This is not a linear business. It's not 1 + 1 = 2, as 1 + 1 = 100. But you need to understand how that unfolds. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, okay, is my first 11 months, when I hit 6A, I had 100 product sales, okay? So that is very seeable, is like, okay, your day one, you kind of see the path, okay, how can I get to 3A? Okay, this is how many sales I need. How can I get to 4A? This is how many sales I need. How can I get to 5A, 6A? It is easy for the majority of individuals, even though they don't know exactly how they're going to do it, how many sales they're going to make, how many calls they got to do or whatever. But seeing that path from day 1 to 4A, day 1 to 6A, for most people, they can wrap their head around it and go, all right, cool. I can get there eventually. If everyone else has done it, I can do it. You know what I mean? But after a while, getting to dash 3, dash 4, dash 5, there starts to be this bit of like, I'm not really quite sure how that's going to happen and what that actually means and how that looks. So after the first year, okay, I hit 6A. By the 15th month, I hit 6A2 because of the strategy that I created with the trifecta and owning multiple accounts and making that popular in my organization and the go-to way that we do it. So all of a sudden, people started getting faster results. They were getting to 6A and 35 customers instead of 101 products, which is how everybody else does it pretty much even till this day. A lot of people in Enagic still sell one by one. They like to go old school, and that's fine. We like to go fast, and we know the reasons and benefits why. All of a sudden, how many months was it? 22 months, I think it was, hit dash 2. 39 months, hit dash 3. Now, I hit dash 3 with pretty much not any sales being sacrificed, okay? Which means that they were all under the structure that would contribute to the dash 3 organization. Okay, so I didn't have all these random sales all over the place. It was like I had one goal, one mission, and I was executing the plan to get to dash 3 in as short of time as I possibly could. And that was in 39 months. But here's the part that I want you to really like wrap your mind around right now for everybody who's producing, everybody who's making some consistent sales, and you already got this momentum happening. At some point, I don't know exactly what creates this, but it's like a pressure cooker, right? It's a pressure cooker. So you are showing up. You're doing your best. You're being a leader. You're doing weekly calls. You're doing webinars. You're supporting your organization. You got people joining, getting started, going through the getting started process, all the things. And it's good, right? It's like pretty consistent. Your income's like, okay, 30K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. But this pressure cooker is building. And there's all these people in there. And at some point, man, this thing just pops, okay? And your sales double, triple, quadruple in a very short period of time. And this is the phenomenon of exponential growth. This is like the thing that is hard to describe and hard for everybody to believe in because it seems too good to be true. It seems like some kind of pipe dream or something like that. But it does eventually happen, okay? So for myself, 5 years after I started, things were great. I was hovering at 100 product sales a month. Then it got to 150, then it got to 200. It wasn't that crazy. It was nice. I was making 30, 50 grand a month, like, very good income for most people's perspective. But it was just kind of plateauing, hovering. All of a sudden, 5 years in, once we had the transition to online, right? We had GAZ, we had some of the online affiliate marketers come in and help us and support us with like doing a better, faster, more streamlined process. 5 years in, we crossed over the first 5,000 sales total in my business, okay? Total accumulated sales, 5,000. We are now, today, we're doing 6,000 plus products per month. If you would have told me that 5 years in, I wouldn't have seen it, man, because I'm like, what are you talking about? It took me 5 years to get 5,000 total, and you're telling me we're going to do more than 5,000 a month 5 years from now? I wouldn't have believed you, man. I wouldn't have seen it because my mind was conditioned and programmed to think linearly. Okay, cool. So if we grow 5% a month, that means that we'll be here and no, right? Basic, boring ass linear thinking. That's not how it happens. Like I said, there's a pressure cooker. Eventually it pops. It just goes crazy because you've been putting in the repetition. You're building this. Like, think about it like this. If you are training people, okay, and they're all learning simultaneously in a leveraged way. You have one community with one training platform and people are joining every single day. They're going through the training, they're going through the videos. They're practicing their sales, they're practicing their marketing, they're practicing their ads. Eventually, there's enough people that are no longer a beginner who understands what's going on. They become an intermediate. And then it keeps going, and then they become a pro. And then all of a sudden they're a leader. Now all of a sudden they got their own teams. Now they duplicate. Now they separate from your community. They go do their own thing. And then that's a positive thing as well. And it keeps happening, and then poof, and it just blows up. So over this course of 10 years, we've probably experienced 3 quantum leap growth periods that are just, you can't put it into words. I don't know exactly how or why it happened. Sometimes it was related to ranking up. Sometimes it wasn't. But like, that's what is possible, okay? Now, over the last 90 days, I want to get into this real quick. This is massive. This is so massive. Over the last 90 days, check this out. We've done, in August, we did $16 million in USD sales, okay? In August. In September, we did $16 million in USD sales. In October, we did $17 million. This is like a few bucks under $50 million in 90 days of revenue for Enagic, in Enagic product sales. Now, Enagic pays out 54, 57% on the 8 points, and then they pay out up to around 70-ish% total, including monthly bonuses, quarterly bonuses, all these other things. Okay? So you do the math right now. Let me do the math with you. 50 million times 0.7, $35 million have been paid out in commissions and bonuses to the GPM community, right? $35 million US in 90 days in commissions and bonuses. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to understand. That's a lot of money, man. Now I'm saying this because I want you to wrap your head around it, okay? If a business, a company, a traditional company does $100 million a year in business, in sales, that is outstanding. We're going to do $200 million in sales, just GPM alone. Not all of Enagic. Enagic's $1 billion company, okay? And it all started 10 years ago with me investing 10 grand on a trifecta. Actually, I didn't even start with a trifecta. I started with a SD501, $4 grand. I got a business 10 years ago for $4,000, all in. That 10 years later is generating $200 million USD in sales, and 70% of that is going into our family's bank accounts, setting our families free to live life the way we're all supposed to live it. Happy, in peace, with no limitations, doing as we please, giving back, making a difference, helping out other people, being an inspiring example of living life in an abundant way. That's what we got here, my friends. And as a result of this, okay, my little cut of $35 million was $1.3 million passively from the monthly, quarterly bonuses, the title incentive for hitting -6, which is $200,000 US. And that's not even including the 50 grand last month for the contest, total daily and monthly, and the 50 something that I'll get this month because we're currently in first place again, back to back, run it up. Okay. And so I want this to be an inspiring example. It's not to make it about me, because $34 million out of the money that Enagic has paid out isn't in my bank account. You understand? It's in your guys' bank account. You and the leaders and the people that are here with us. And I know that there are some of you that are listening to this, or you're going to catch the replay, that are like, well, I made zero of that. And you might feel some type of way about it. And you might feel, oh, everybody's making money off me getting started. No, that's not true. It's an example of what you can also create, right? There is no difference here between the opportunity, the products, the business. The difference is that you can do it, right? Is like you are the X factor that needs to get out of your own way, that needs to learn. Why do you have those thoughts? Why do you see things like this? Why are you so limited to what you believe you are worth? Why do you think so small? Why are you settling for an average basic life? Why aren't you working harder? Why aren't you trying more? Why are you letting society's basic average expectations on your life and just accepting it, right? Distractions, entertainment, vices, not respecting yourself, not respecting your body, not working out. Why are you allowing that to be okay for yourself? That's the real question that you need to be asking yourself. Not about how much money I made in my bank account, not about how much these other leaders made in their bank accounts. None of that should be the focus. The focus should actually be, why am I, when you look in the mirror, why am I playing small? Why am I not showing up? Why am I making excuses? Why am I being a little bitch compared to who I know I truly can become? That is the truth. Okay? Because if you step into that, if you stop being so comfortable with this little tiny life that you've always had and actually step into it and be like, I'm worth 10x this, man. I'm worth 10x this. My family deserves 10x this. We're supposed to go on 10 times more trips, 10 times more holidays, have 10 times more assets and investments. We're playing small. End of story, bottom line, including me. This isn't even about you. I'm telling this as a message to myself right now as well. I'm playing small, man. I know that there's a lot of people in this community. We could be doing $1 million months, take home profit in the bank, no problem, right? So while the last 90 days has been beautiful and it's been a huge milestone and a big breakthrough, and I'm really, really proud and excited about it, man, it just got me hungrier to know that there's not enough of us winning at this level yet. And so that's what I'm pumped and excited about, okay? But this is the real homework for you guys, is to actually ask yourself, why are you not showing up? Why are you participating instead of being the top person? Why aren't you coming for the number one crown, right? Why aren't you more excited about this monthly contest that's going out, this daily contest that's going out, and why aren't you trying to get your name or your company on this list to get some of this bank? Because you know what that list represents? That list represents the people who are actually doing the work. Those are the people that are doing the work on the list, and there's only 20 of them at a time that gets shown on a daily right here. 20 people in the whole world in the company are on this list. Why aren't you on this list? How many times you got to log in the back office and see all these people's names and your name isn't on there? And why? What's the reason why? Because I bet you that if we actually had a camera in your room, in your house, watching your every move when you think no one's around, we'd be able to pinpoint exactly why you're not on that list because of how you're showing up or not showing up. Am I right or am I right? If all you did was actually do what you know you should be doing, I'll drop you the list right here, my friends. You want to see the list? I'll give you the list. The list is right here. Absolutely shout out to Jen and Steph. You guys are absolutely, but the thing is, guys, is when you follow Jen and Steph, the two of them are working. They're showing up, right? They're working hard. They're showing up. They're hungry. They want to constantly beat their last month's effort. I see Jen posting on her social media. She's excited, right? She's getting close to last month. She's got a couple days left. She's relentless in growth. She wants to literally go, we had this last month. This month we grew. This month we grew, right? A lot of people get excited about just coasting, just getting by, just doing a little bit. You understand what I mean? So when we look at 2024 and what's coming, there's a lot of people right now that this is what's going to happen. And I want you to avoid this from happening. They're the people that are saying, I'm going to walk that stage in Japan as a 6A and above. I'm going to be there in Japan. I'm going to book my flight, book my ticket. I'm going to show up there. And they're talking about all this stuff, right? Oh yeah, Japan. I'm going to eat the sushi. I'm going to go to Japan. All of a sudden, we get to June 2024, right? We go into this time machine. Pretend it's June 2024 right now. Most of y'all not going to be there. Most of y'all not going to walk that stage. Most of y'all not going to get the check. Most of y'all not going to shake Mr. Oshiro's hand. Most of y'all not going to have that experience. Why? Because the choices that you make when you have to follow through and do the work doesn't actually happen. It's just talk. right? Eat the sushi. Hey, I'm excited about that sushi, man. So the point that I'm making is like, the thing that has helped me get to where I am in my life, man, is I've spoken into existence. I said I was I post all these reminder memories from Facebook on my social media all the time. And I literally said, I'm going to the top, who's coming with me? Watch this shit. Fast forward to the time, I'm on the top. I don't just say it for the sake of saying it. I don't think it's just funny. You know, I'm not trying to get the what's the word? Is it dopamine? Or the serotonin or whatever, the chemical reaction in my body from just talking a big game and then not following through. I say it, I do it. So all of you right now, you need to actually say it and then do it. Make it your number one focus, your number one priority, that you're going to follow through. And here's what happens when you do this. You're going to go on a Facebook Live right after this call. This is your homework. When this call ends, I want you to go live. And I want you to declare what you're going to create in this business. I want you to declare what you're going to achieve, what you're going to accomplish, the rank that you're going to have, the goals that you're going to hit in 2024. And I want you to get real honest. I don't want you to just say it because, oh, it's cool to say it. I want you to say it and then commit and then make it happen. And then here's the best part. 1 year from now, Facebook's going to give you a memory. This is the best part. Facebook's going to give you a memory of this live stream that you're going to do today, okay? And you're going to watch that memory 1 year from now. And you're going to watch it, and you're either going to have a come to Jesus moment of whether or not you did it, or you're going to have a moment of like, I failed. I didn't show up. I made excuses, right? And then you get to share it back on social media and say, a year ago, I declared this. I said I was going to create this, go to Japan, hit this rank, make this money, quit my job, travel the world, buy a house, whatever is important to you. And then you're going to say, I did that. What about you? And you know what happens when you do this? You become an authority. You become an authority that you say what you're going to do, you show up, you make it happen, and that gets respect. And respect is even higher than trust. Because if they respect you and they trust you, they're going to work with you, right? And the more respect and trust you have within yourself, the more respect and trust you get from the marketplace, and the higher quality individuals will partner and work with you as part of your organization. Because there is no possible chance that any of you will make it to 6A2-6 without becoming a better, higher version of yourself. It's not going to happen. I promise you that. Because to get to 6A2-6, you need to be a leader of leaders. You understand? You need to be a leader of 6 and 7 figure earners. You can't be the 7-figure earner and then have 6A2-6. No, your people got to eat more than you. You understand? Your people have to be better than you. You have to lead people that are more talented, more skilled, more dedicated, more serious than you. But that means that you got to be the one that brings them into your organization. You have to be the one that actually sets that bar, sets that example, and actually make those people want to work with you. Leave their low ticket, whatever they're up to. Leave their coaching thing, whatever they're up to. Leave their brick and mortar and come to you. And if you can be that person, you go to 6A2-6. You can't be the freaking king of your own mountain or the king of your own castle, man. You got to be the one who drives around the kingdom and stops by everyone else's castle and says, what's up? Hey, nice castle, man. I'm proud of you. You -3? Oh, good shit. Over here, you -4? Oh, good shit. That's what it takes to get to 6A2-6, not you being the king of all of it. You know what I mean? I'm getting goosebumps just saying this, because when I realized that, look, man, I had to go the long, difficult road. Okay? There was no online. There was no cool shit when I started. I was doing presentations out of the trunk of my car in my living room. I was driving across town. I was doing whatever it took, right? I didn't know any better, so I just did the best that I could do. But then as I went further and further in the business, what I realized was, man, there's people already with the experience. They already have the email list. They already have the influence. They're already so much better than me. But they don't have my vision. They don't have my strategy around Enagic. They don't have Enagic as an opportunity. They don't know how to put the pieces in place to make this thing truly work. So I got to share the message. And once I share the message, I become of value. I have the respect. I have the trust. I have the track record. They're going to want to work with me. And once we combine energy, once we combine forces, And it's like this perfect combination partnership. That's how you get 1 month the same amount of sales as it took me 5 years to produce way back then. So what is the game that we're playing when we actually think about it? The game that we're playing is to constantly work on ourselves to become the best version of ourselves, which means that if you're fat right now, like you're super overweight and you don't exercise, you don't eat clean, you got to get jacked, man. You got to get trim. You got to lose weight. You got to look amazing, because that simple thing of you going from fat to skinny or skinny to jacked is super inspiring, because most people think about it, they don't do nothing about it. So boom, you just got some respect from everybody. Okay, all right, you did that, cool. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with being a broke ass. You're broke right now, you're debt, you're an embarrassment to yourself and your family. Get yourself out of that situation. Pay off that debt. Start making some money. Move into a nice house. Start traveling. Get some nice stuff. Show that you came from wherever you started from and now you're not there anymore. These are the things that you can control. But you cannot try to hide from your own self the things that you think about, that you're unhappy about, that you don't love about you, because you know you're not doing the work, and then expect the world to come join your organization. Not going to happen. So the end game is real simple. Declare it, say it, preach it publicly, execute, make it happen, and then go back and say, I said it, I did it, now what's up? And everybody else who said it and didn't do it, you become the top dog. Does that make sense? So we are in the personal development space. We're in the personal growth space. So when you can get your act together in a way that only you can actually do, no one can do it for you. No one can go to the gym for you. No one can make you eat cleaner. No one can make you drink a gallon of 9.5 Kangen water every single day, non-negotiable. No one can make you take your 5 Ukon a day. No one can make you do that stuff. Only you can make yourself do that. And if you start to hold the word that you promised yourself and actually stick to that, repeatedly, every 24 hours before you go to bed, you do the thing you said you're going to do. It's not going to be long before people start to come to you and say, hey, what are you doing? What are you on? What's in that water, man? Whenever you drink that water, you actually follow through on your promises that you're not only making to yourself, but you're telling the public. So this is a process of personal accountability, but it's also a process of documenting the transformation. So when you take a photo, right, and you put on your bathing suit and you take a photo of how you look in the mirror, hey man, it is what it is. The weight on the scale is the weight on the scale. How you look in the mirror is how you look in the mirror. But then you fast forward 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and now you take another photo and you look different. The scale says something different. Who can say anything about this? Nobody. You know what I mean? So when we can do this, we become somebody who's documenting our own transformation. We're documenting, most of us, coming from lack, scarcity, poverty, struggle, debt, divorce, difficult childhood. That's most of our stories, man. And we're changing those generational curses by being an example of what we can create. And then you get the next wave. So first you transform yourself. Then during that transformation, you inspire some people. They start to work with you, right? Then you get to the next level. Then you inspire the next level of people to work with you. Then you transform even further. The next level of people want to work with you. And if we do this over a long enough period of time, while we stay aligned to the same goal, the same vision, the same opportunity, which is one of the things that most people, they can't get it right. Like, this is what I mean. They get started with a magic, right? They get excited a little bit about it. They do a couple ads, they make a couple sales, and then they get distracted. Then they start talking about something else. They start confusing their people. They start confusing their audience. It's like they got lost in the woods, right? And everyone's kind of going, I thought that person said that they're going to go do this thing and go hit this like weird equation thing, like 682 minus 3, whatever. I don't know what the hell that is, but they said they're going to do that. Now they're not. Now they're over here on Etsy making like fucking dollhouses or something, selling this weird stuff. How did that happen? You know? So all of a sudden, there's this 3-year period where a lot of people just watching, they're waiting. All right, okay, all right, okay. They're still going, they're still doing it, they're still going, they're still doing it. 3 years later, some of those people go, all right, man, you've earned the ability for me to know you're not going anywhere. So I want to work with you. Another 2 years goes by. Now you're 5 years deep, right? 10 years deep, same mission, same vision, same everything. Guys, listen, when you do $50 million in sales in 90 days, and here's the crazy part, okay? During that 90 days, I was in Europe with my family for a month. I was in Toronto celebrating my 10-year freedom anniversary. I took my family to Disney World. I was living it up, okay? I was having the time of my life. No expenses spared, just sitting there. For every dollar that I spent, I made $5 back by itself, automatically passive, okay? It was like so insane. If I go share this with a coach, influencer, entrepreneur, somebody that I meet at a networking event or whatever, and we just compare apples to apples, go, how much money is your business doing? How much of that is passive for you? How much time can you take off and your business still grows 5% month over month? Guys, they just got nothing. They're going to be like, I'll be like, cool. So here's the paperwork and let's do this thing together. And last month when I went to go out, I forgot one of the trips I went on was in San Diego to go see Mr. Oshiro. And I was talking to him and you know what I said? This is what he said. I said to Mr. Oshiro, I said, you want to know my goal? And he laughed because nobody else in the room was sharing their goals. And he's like, yes, of course. I'm like, I'm going to be 6A 100-8. And he looks at me. He's just kind of like, what are you saying, right? And so here's my plan. I'm gonna speak it into existence right now. I'm gonna tell you my plan, and then you're gonna watch me do it. Okay? 6A 100-8. I'm literally gonna go recruit people to be one of those 98 spots that I have frontline to me, because I already am 6A2 frontline on my top account. 98 spots to go 6A. And I'm going to go to these rooms, go to these events, I'm going to meet these people and actually qualify them, be like, are you somebody who I want to have frontline to me to be one of these 100 generals frontline in my empire? And Mr. Shearer just smiled. He bumps his wife, gives her a little smirk. He bumps his translator and he looks at me and he goes like this. He shakes his head and he shakes my hand and I'm like, let's go. Let's go. And like, guys, this is what gets me excited, right? This is what gets me excited because there's always got to be another level, another new challenge. And for those of you that are listening right now, your next goal might be 2A. Your next goal might be 3A. The entire journey of my career with Enagic, I was only focused on the next target. I didn't go from 1A focusing on 6A 100-8. That's insane. It would never work. So I just went 1A, let's get to 2A. What do I got to do to get from 2A to 3A? What do I got to get from 3A to 4A? And then when I hit 4A, I was like, wait a second, this isn't about me. How can I help 2 or 3 people hit 3A, which will then make me 5A? Okay, cool, I'm 5A. How can I help 2 or 3 people on my team get to 4A so I can be 6A? And then at 6A2, I started to understand this whole dynamic of like, the more people you serve, the more people you support, the more people you inspire, the more people you, like if you continue to grow, that inspires your community, that inspires your team to keep growing also. When you go do cool, epic things, right? Like if you go on a badass holiday, if you spend time with your kids, you drop them off at school, you pick them up, you do this kind of stuff, it inspires your existing organization constantly. That is one of the biggest things that you all need to understand is like if you live a boring life, if you don't plan any fun things, if you're not an expression of possibility and freedom and abundance, why would anybody want to work with you? You know what I mean? It's like, I understand some of us are homebodies, we're simple people, we don't need the flash or the luxury, stuff like that, but it's also not attractive. Growth is attractive, right? Making your dreams a reality is attractive. Going from renting small little condos or apartments your whole life and then buying a house that has enough space for you and your family is attractive. So you have to become somebody who's attractive, who does cool things, who is like a reality TV show that they want to watch. Okay, cool. Today you're chilling. Tomorrow you're on this call. The next day you're with your family. So think about your brand as documenting your transformation. You're fat, you're going to get in shape. You're broke, you're going to make some money. You know, you have a shitty job you hate, you're going to document your transformation to freedom. You're somebody who nobody respects and you have no authority and no influence in your community because nobody cares, nobody wants to learn from you. Start studying the books, man. Have a strong mindset, be positive, serve others, give inspiring messages of hope and positivity and be a light in a dark world. And all of a sudden, the energy starts to change. Like, I need me a dose of that. I got to go on that person's social media because whenever I do, I feel good. I feel inspired. I feel happy. I feel motivated. I feel entertained, whatever. So put more of that stuff out there, right? Build that following, document the transformation, but also show growth, show evolution. If you're in the same place you were a year ago, the only question that I think is, so what were you doing the last year? You go into the gym for a year and you look exactly the same as last year. What were you doing in the gym for a year? You were building your business and showing up to the GPM calls and the training calls and the weekly calls, and you're still a 1A. What were you doing this last year? This is what people are going to think. Now, of course, I understand there's certain things that happen below the surface. There's transformation, there's inner work, there's all this stuff. I get all that. But I'm just telling you that your audience is going, nothing's changed. And you haven't shared what has changed. You haven't communicated the mindset shifts, the way that you're with your children. You're more calm, you're more patient, you're more grateful. Share that stuff. And next thing you know, people watching. It gets to the point where it's either ego or inspiration. There's a lot of people right now who know me, who've watched me, who've talked some shit about me, who've talked some shit about Enagic, and whatever. It's gotten to the place now where they simply can't put that aside to message me, to call me, to reach out to me and say they want to do this business together because they feel so freaking embarrassed of what they thought was going to happen and what actually has happened. And that's all right. It's kind of funny. But there's a lot of other people that are watching going, okay, I mean, at this point, I should probably get on this ship. I should probably become a part of this thing, the global prosperity movement, because there's a lot of evidence and they've been doing this over here. They've been doing this over here. Hasn't really panned out. And they're back here again. And that includes people in the community that have left and come back. That includes people who never joined the community, but now are thinking about joining. The point is, guys, when you outlast the haters, the doubters, the disbelievers, if you just simply keep showing up and you keep growing, you keep transforming, you keep improving, you're allowing that transformation to happen, and you're also allowing this compounding effect to take place. Literally in 2020, I'm going to tell you a couple more statistics, okay? In 2020, August 2020, I had 99,068 total products sold in my organization. At the time, we had 489 6As, 2020. We had 4 people at Dash 4. We had 14 people at Dash 3 and 39 people at 682-2 and 111 people at 682, okay? 3 years later, we've not only doubled, but we 1.5x'd. We literally have grown from 99,000 total sales to 249,000 total sales in the last 3 years. Remember, the first 5 years of my business did 5,000 products total combined. So what does that mean for you before I wrap up this call for today? What does that mean for you? It means that the slow and steady growth, that doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem significant. It doesn't even maybe get you that excited or that impressed. And when you see 6,000 sales in a month, or you see other top leaders, Dash 6, Dash 7 in Enagic, you see their monthly sales reports, you're probably kind of wondering like, there's such a big gap, man, between where I am and where they are. Is it possible for me? How do I do it? But it's because you're not letting that pressure cooker, that quantum growth to just happen. And it's going to happen 3 years from now. It's going to happen 5 years from now. It's going to happen 10 years from now for you. But the person that you become in between those timelines, right? the transformation that you have with your mindset, with your skill set, with your personal development, with your body, with your physique, with your relationships, with your experiences, the traveling, the trips, the bucket list adventures, the cool shit, the contribution, the giving back, the buying investment properties, whatever, is so freaking beautiful that what is there to be worried about? The time is going to pass anyways. The last 10 years of my life have been the most beautiful years that I wish upon the whole world to experience. If my entire life was just the last 10 years, I would die a happy man that lived life to the max. And I'm only turning 38 years old, guys. I haven't even hit my stride. I haven't even hit my prime. I'm not even close to what's going to be happening. And I'm already the gratefulest man on the planet. And I want the same for you, okay? So anybody who's listening right now who's scared, intimidated, concerned, worried, negative emotions, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if the economy, the inflation, the government, the presidential election, COVID, war, World War III, right? All the bullshit. Guys, block it all out. It's all a bunch of nonsense that is just going to distract you. Are there real problems in the world? Yes. Are there real issues in the world? Yes. I'm not saying there isn't, but the best thing that you can do is set yourself and your family up and then go give back. Then go make a difference, right? Christmas time is coming. Holidays are coming right now. Myself and the leaders that are making bank, you best believe we're giving back. You best believe we're going to contribute. We're going to help people in need. We're going to buy people's food, buy people's presents, make sure that they got a flight or something like that to go see their families or whatever. Like, we're going to give back. And most of us already do it. We already do it silently because it's not something that we want to promote, right? When you give just for the attention is different than giving behind the scenes. And that's how I prefer to do it myself. But the point that I'm making, guys, is when you look back, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they'll be the greatest years of your life, even without the rank, even without, the massive business, because it's slowly growing, and then it just blows up. And then it blows up. And the diamond decade that I'm talking about it means that things are going to happen at an accelerated pace. Things are going to happen really, really fast. We're going to be taking orders. We're going to have more people from low ticket switching over to this. We're going to have people that are realizing that the coaching space is really not sustainable long term. They're basically on a hamster wheel and it's their face. They stop showing up to the coaching. There's no more business. There's no more clients, right? So even though it's a great way to do things, it's not sustainable and it's not going to give you freedom. It's not going to give you legacy income and so on. So there's a big shift happening. There's AI, there's robots, there's automation, there's people losing their jobs. There's a lot of stuff going on with layoffs and inflation and other problems. Guys, we have the ticket, we have the answer, we have the solution. And right now it might feel weird when you're shouting on your social media, I got the thing, I can change your life, come check this thing out. And everyone's like, whatever, Balazs, whatever, Balazs, whatever, Balazs. And then one day they wake up and something shifts, something changes. And all of a sudden they really need the thing that you've been shouting about. And they're going to start joining you. They're going to start partnering with you. This is coming. The wave is coming. The tsunami is coming. And even though things are amazing already, they're just getting warmed up. I promise you that. And that's why I called it the diamond decade. In the next 10 years, we're going to hit momentum. We're going to 5x our company sales. We're going to do 100,000 units a month. We're going to be a $5 to $10 billion a year company. We're going to be doing $1 million months as the peak standard that a lot of people are going to be doing, the leaders. 100K months are going to be normal in the community, and 10K months are just going to be like part-time, just warming up, just a couple sales. That's going to be 10K months. So there's this entire shift that's taking place, and we're going to just fucking crush it. We're going to win. We're going to dominate. We're going to prove to people that we found the truth, and we have open arms to welcome everybody in. No hate, all love, respect, peace, love, joy, fulfillment is what we're about, my friends. And so I'm so grateful. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful that I get to do life and business with you guys. I haven't seen a lot of you in person yet, or I haven't seen you in a little while. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to see you at a future event, at a celebration, at Japan, the convention. Shake your hand, give you a hug, congratulate you for becoming the person you need to become to cross that stage, to celebrate that success, guys. I don't know where I would be in my life if I didn't have an amazing community like you guys. It's just so humbling to be first on the contest, you know, to be a -6, to be on the cover. There's so many beautiful acknowledgments and achievements happening for me in my life in the last 6 months. And sometimes I question it, my friends. Like I go like, do I really deserve this? You know, am I worthy of this? I have those thoughts sometimes too. And I have to really like dig deep and just remember how much shit I actually have been through in the last 10 years. How much adversity, how much setbacks, how many betrayals, how much drama happened between people where I tried to come in and make it right and fix it and like give people hope and, you know, help them walk off the cliff and go, no, like you don't have this right, man. Don't quit. Don't give up. I promise you can make this work. Like I've done so much of that. You have no idea that when I get these little, I guess they're not little, they're big, but like these big acknowledgments or, you know, the handshake from Mr. Oshiro, the gratitude, the thank yous, the winning the contest, it really is the only way I can make sense of it. The only way I can make peace with it is to understand that it's a delayed bonus. It's a delayed reward for the stuff that I endured in the first 5-6 years of my business. And now it's catching up, this full circle kind of moment. And I want that to happen for you too. And I promise if you have a similar outlook and perspective that I do, and you just give it enough time and space for you to evolve into who you know you can become, you're going to have those moments too, man. You're going to be on the cover. You're going to be celebrated. You're going to meet Mr. Oshiro. He's going to shake your hand. All of that stuff, you're going to have that too one day, and keep going until that happens, my friends. So much love to you. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do to make me look good, to make me look like a good leader. It is acknowledged. I'm grateful every day. I tell my wife every day how grateful I am for Enagic, for GPM, for all of you guys. And I cannot stress that enough, that my heart is just so full being here. And I hope this call inspired you to realize that $1 million in 90 days of passive income is 100% possible in this opportunity, as long as you grow and keep contributing and keep developing yourself and have, you know, 6,000 monthly sales happening in your personal organization. Then that's possible for you as well. And yeah, thank you for all the comments. I'm gonna need a moment to just kind of let this land and get a little emotional, because it's just so overwhelming, all the love and everything you guys give me. So much love to you guys. And I can't wait for the next call. Finish the year strong, finish November strong. And I can't wait to see all the celebrations, the rank advancements that happen this month, because it's always my favorite time of the month to see all that. So I'll see you guys again soon. Much love. Mwah. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.